Good morning, Brandon Artisan, President of Champion Strategies, for another edition of Public Speaking. Once again, we're doing this for everyone who has an opportunity. School teachers, you're on deck first. Hope we have a safe and healthy opening for those that will be in front of the babies for the first time. Remember, they're looking to you to guidance, and so maybe you're coming on because I've never been in front of a room before. Maybe I did my student teaching training, and it's still not the same, and it won't be the same, to be honest with you. But you must show confidence in leading these babies every day. So we wish you well. We're glad that you're tuning in. Maybe you're a new manager, supervisor. Congratulations. Now your job is to understand not only the skill sets that you bring as far as achieving objectives, but you have to lead people. So many times you got to bring your people in and give them that talk, not about the numbers, but about the knowledge of how we're going to get there. And that's where public speaking comes in for you. Or maybe you're an established public speaker, you went to some type of workshop, you got all kinds of awards, then the COVID hit, and now you're reduced to the box. So, how do I work this box? There are all kinds of speaking courses over the internet, costing some money for some of you, maybe too much money. I don't like the promises that they make, but it's America. They can say what they want, but remember, once you pay your money, you get what you pay for. That's why some people don't want to do any of that and just learn on their own. Just find videos, practice because they have the discipline, and good luck to you because you can do it also if you stay focused. And not to forget those reputable 2 4 year institutions and those organizations that do concentrate on just public speaking. So we're proud to be part of that. So we've just been going through a series over the past 6 weeks every day. But 2 days ago, we started with a workshop, and we're just going to go step by step. We started with module 1, so we just want to end with it by simply saying part 2, because yesterday we talked about the importance of your audience and why certain things need to be done. So now that we have an idea of who we're going to talk to, we need to be creating an audience profile. If your audience is well educated, you can use fairly sophisticated vocabulary. If they're not, make it simple. As Malcolm X used to say, keep it plain. Uh, Familiarize yourself with the topic and your guests. Get them to understand that the topic that you're covering may need a little bit of their input, which is going to make some of them feel good because they may already know something about it because we made sure we understood what our audience is going to be like. I would stay away from jargon. I know that we're in a different age and people like to use a lot of jargon, but this is front of the room speaking. This is public speaking. This is not street speaking. Not to knock any of that, but once again, I was trained formally as a public speaker. I was on debate teams. I've coached mock trial debate teams, whether it was Lincoln Douglas or team. There's a place for the street. But if you're going to be around powerful people in a meeting room doing a conference, please watch any specialized vocabulary unless you think that everyone in the audience will understand it. If you have to use technical terms, please try to explain it before you do it. I would just get a little worried about some of the youngsters that are coming up, and they just assume that everyone in the room is going to like what they do and say because they're the hot thing of the day. Public speaking is an art, it goes way back, and you can lose a lot of money in fees for your speaking if you come across the wrong way. Interest in the topic. What do the people care about? What's important to them? The person that hired you, I would ask the question, what do you need from me to get your people excited, to listen, to understand that these processes make sense? That's the thing that you need to do with your Q&A with the person that is paying you to be there. Some possible misconceptions, which incorrect ideas you may need to correct. Attitudes, are the people coming in hostile? Are they supportive? Are they curious? Are they worried? Sometimes people come into an auditorium and they don't know why they're coming in there. The boss just told them to come in there. And they see you and they don't know if you're from downtown and you're about ready to lay them off. So what's the attitude of the group that's coming in? Hopefully it's upbeat and it's some type of conference where they've been having fun, but you never know, because the attitude of your audience will affect the tone of your speech. I'll say that again. The attitude of your audience will affect the tone of your speech. So we need to find out what's going on with that organization that has hired you to come in front. Same thing with the teachers or business. Let's find out from our bosses what's going on for the next quarter. And if we know it's not obtainable, but we're going to try, you may have to massage some things to get your people still motivated to go out and do their job if they do have a major account, key account type situation. One of the most important elements of written or spoken language is the register in which it is delivered. Experts always say that there are three registers of language. And some of you may have been through some courses and already heard this. They're titled R1, R2, R3. R1 is the level of language used most commonly by politicians, lawyers, found in the upper market range of newspapers. Watch some of the upcoming debates that will be coming up for the presidential election, and you'll understand how that tonality of delivering a content comes across. R2 is the most commonly used by people in everyday conversation with acquaintances and people that they've just met outside the framework. So it's pretty much everyday language, clean, but still a little above the street vernacular. R3 is the register that may be used between close friends and is heavily based on that slang or street. Considering how educated your audience is, and I know I keep going back to that, but we can't assume that everybody that you're speaking with had the advantages of some of the other folks in the room, and maybe they haven't done their research. They've just been paying attention to whatever local news source that they've been getting online or on TV, and it may not be accurate all the time. But this will determine how formal you wish to speak. It will govern the choice of your register 1, 2, or 3. The audience familiarity with an interest or a topic will also be of importance. In other words, you may be speaking to an education group audience, particular on time, and the topic at hand may be something dealing with one of the local political issues of the day. The ideas to the audience who are already familiar with the topic uh, can decide and help shape what your speech is going to be about. If they're familiar with the topic, then it does not hurt to include some jargon, as this may even make your speech a little bit more dynamic. If you don't need to keep explaining things, you can communicate ideas effectively. Now, the mood, the opinion of your audience is also important. It will influence tone, content, and how your speech is going to be perceived. Are people going to be nervous, worried about should they interject? Should we just take notes? And what if there's any celebrities in the audience who may want to interject something different in a Q&A if you do have one there? You need to keep all these things in your head when you're thinking about who's in the audience. One person speaking to a large crowd is a unique position. You have the attention of many people. The power to get the idea across from your content will change mindsets and behaviors on a large scale. And that's what public speakers enjoy, especially getting paid for it. So, therefore, it's important to consider how you phrase your statements and that you correct any misconceptions that you may be aware of. But audience is the key. The better you know and understand your audience, the better your speech, the content, what you want the people to walk away with is going to be a lot better. Once again, Brandon Hardison for Champion Strategies. We'll be back again with Module 2 on the next show as we go through our own little workshop. So, Brandon Hardison, as always, in parting, go out and make it a champion.